All right, in your social studies book, go to 20, no, what page is that, Calvin?
21.
Okay, 20 and 21. We got to finish 20, and then we'll go over to 21. Remember we had the word adapt that we thought would be one of our vocabulary words, but they didn't have it on the list.
Yay.
So we didn't have to do anything. We were reading, though, about how people adapt to where they live, and other animals do. What do you have? What is it? Can you go throw them outside, please? Again. Right? Okay. The people need to adapt, and one of the ways they adapt is they have to, number one, make sure they have water, because water is extremely important, isn't it? Okay? Drinking water is important, but somebody read this last paragraph to see what else is important about water. Can you leave the lid on your thing? And if you need to, what do you need to ask to do? If it would help. What should you ask to do? Because it will help. There you go. Then you don't have to worry about smashing your ice. The water will do it for you. There you go. There's another thing water does. It takes care of melting the ice. All right. So, somebody read this last one so we can see the other importance of water. Declan, go ahead.
People also use rivers and lakes for transportation. Large boats pull or push
Barges.
barges up and down rivers to move things from place to place. Rivers and lakes are useful for transportation. So many cities are located near rivers.
Okay. Now, rivers are important for this, transportation. What does that word mean, transportation? What is that? Brody, what is that?
That means like how it gets you somewhere.
Yeah, it's moving things from place to place. It could be people, it could be things. They mentioned this. Barges. Does anybody know what a barge is? What's a barge? You know what that is?
Is it like a big boat?
It's kind of a big boat, yeah. The thing with a barge is it doesn't have an engine. A barge doesn't push itself. But it is a boat because it floats. But it's basically this. A barge is just a big empty thing like this. So this whole thing, you can fill it with stuff. All right? But it just floats there after you fill it. It doesn't move anywhere. You have to attach it to a boat that's going to push the barges down the river. Now, if you've ever, how many of you have ever gone near the Mississippi River? Okay, the Mississippi River has barges all up and down it. Sometimes they'll have these things like extending out 8 to 10 of them in front of the thing that's pushing all the barges. Okay, and I don't know how those guys drive it because it's huge. So those things are filled. They're moving stuff. It could be coal. It could be like wheat or other things. Okay, they would have to cover those things up. But there's lots of ways to do it. The reason water is a good way to do that is, have you ever noticed that even have you ever done this? You are in the water playing, like in a pool, and you're able to pick up somebody that's bigger than you. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
And it's like, I am strong! Well, it's not you, it's the water that's helping you. It helps them to float a little bit. If you tried walking out of the water with them, you'd go, right? And you'd lose them. So the barge and other boats, the way that they help is that it's easy to move things on water. Okay? And so when you look at a lot of the big cities, they're located on water because they can not only have people transported, but all the stuff that people need can get transported there easily as well. Yes?
I was at the Mississippi River like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, did you see any barges?
Yeah, I saw a lot.
Yeah.
Me too. I just looked
All right. Go to the next page. Go real quick. And grab your colored pencils or crayons. I will leave it up to you. Oh, that's important. talking about, if you see the blue part, it says 1 country, 5 regions. We're going to be learning that the United States can be split into kind of 5 different sections that we're going to call regions, and they're going to have certain things in common. Not every state will have this in common, but most of them will. All right? And it's going to help us kind of talk about the different states. Now, the first one here, it says to color it orange. So find something orange. I will try to find an orange. And it wants us to do the western region orange. Who thinks they can come up here and point to where the western region is? All right, Colton, go ahead. No, come up here so we can all see it. Brody, what are you doing? Go ahead, do it over on that one, would you? Western region. Okay, it's going to be all those states. See how there's a really thick black line? That black line is where you're going to stop doing orange. So I'm going to do my orange just kind of quickly. Okay. So that top area is the western region. Yeah. Just about actually, that's Alright. The next one underneath it, they said the color red, and this is supposed to be the mid. Oh, by the way, the western region, did you notice that on our compass rose over here? West is that way, right? So that's why this is the western region. These are kind of the western states. Who thinks they know where the Midwest states would be that we're going to color red? Zoe, come up and point to where you think the Midwest states are. No, that's not the Midwest. I don't like the term Midwest. It's kind of weird. Brody, what do you think? Come on up. Can you name a state that's in the Midwest?
Alaska. Alaska?
No, not Alaska. We'll get to Alaska in a little bit here. Declan. Can you point to it?
Yeah.
Come up and point to it. Midwest. Yes, this is the Midwest. Illinois is in the Midwest. Now watch where I'm going to make the red line. There's the edge of the Midwest, and then it follows a river around the bottom of some of these states. And it goes over here, and it goes up along those. And it goes along here. And basically like that. Okay, so those are the Midwestern states. Which we are part of. And I don't like Midwest because we're really kind of more middle, not close to the west. Maybe it means that some of them are middle and some are kind of west. They're the Midwest states. I don't know, it's just the word they've always used. Alright. Next, think about the compass rose. Where would the Southwest states probably be? Southwest. Liam, can you point to where you think the Southwest is? Yes, this is going to be the Southwest. So following this kind of line here, up until it meets there, and then along here, that's the border with Mexico. So these would be the Southwest states, which you can do a better job of coloring that in. This is not a very good purple marker. Yes?
What color is that?
Well, what do you think?
Purple?
I think it's purple. It's probably some very special shade of purple that has a fancy name, but we'll just do purple. That's pretty purple. Yes.
Is Oklahoma on top of Texas?
Oklahoma, yep, it's right there.
I thought it was Oklahoma.
Yep. That is really an answer. That's not me just making something up. Alright. The next one is supposed to be yellow, and it says the southeast. Think about the compass rose and which states would be the southeast. Avery, go ahead. There you go. Those would be the southeast states. It's supposed to be yellow. I don't have a yellow. I'm going to use this orange, but if I write really quick with it, it looks kind of yellow. There's where the line is for the top part of the southeast. It includes Florida and all these. So this is supposed to be yellow. Here, I'll do this. Yellow. Alright, so color those in yellow. Do you see kind of the dark line right along there? Yes. Yes.
Florida, then they made Florida yellow because of their beaches.
They might have. It's the Sunshine State down in Florida. Yes.
Is Los Angeles where the yellow is?
No.
Texas.
All right. Last one is called the Northeast. It's supposed to be this color, which is kind of a maroon.
Yeah.
But if you just have kind of a brown, we can do that. Okay? Because I don't know that everybody's going to have a maroon. So if you just pick a brown one, you can do brown for the last one. And it's going to be, right here is the top of it. This is the state of Maine. Then it goes along the ocean. And then along here. And then along up, right there. Yes.
I didn't say is it in Texas. I said is it in yellow, Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know, I heard you. No. Why did you think I said Texas? I didn't say Texas. I just said no. All I said was no.
Los Angeles is in orange.
You said.
That's in California.
Raise your hand. I'd love to hear things from kids. Well, we already said it now. So I don't know if anybody heard you though. Yeah, Zoe. Go ahead. All right, we are going to be in social studies, learning about each individual region. Notice there's quite a few states in each region. Which region looks the smallest? Which one looks the smallest? William? Okay, the Northeast is physically the smallest one, but if you look at it, every time you see two letters next to each other, that stands for a state. And the thing about the Northeast is that a lot of the states are just small. Because look what they had to do. Like, this is for Maryland, so they put MD out here, and then they made a line showing you where it is. DE is Delaware. They had to do the same thing. NJ is New Jersey. Same thing. CT is Connecticut. RI is Rhode Island. MA is Massachusetts. NH is New Hampshire. Okay? So there's a whole bunch of states there. It's just they're tiny states. They're not very big. As you go west, the states kind of start getting bigger, don't they? All right? And so the regions end up being a little bit bigger too. All right? Yes?
Where's New York at?
It is over here. It's in the state of New York, which has the NY in it, and the city is down in the tip on the ocean.
New York.
Okay? All right, now we're going to also, one thing we're going to be doing as we go through each region, we're going to be seeing where are the states. And I'm planning on every time we talk about a new region, doing kind of a little states quiz for that region, where you're going to have to know where the different states are. All right, so I'm going to help you to study for that and get ready for it, but it'll just be by region. So we're not doing all of the United States all at one time. But like when we study the first region, I think it's going to be the Southeast, you'll need to know that this is Florida, this is Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and we're going to try to learn where all the states are. All right? Yes?
I feel like it should be the Southwest to start out with because it only has 4.
Yes, that one is a big giant region, but it only has 4 states. It's kind of the opposite of this one. It has a whole bunch of states, but it's tiny. All right? Okay, for now, go ahead and you can put your social studies